Good morning and welcome to the 2021 Canadian Water Summit. This event is a partnership between Water Canada and the Canadian Water and Wastewater Association's Window on Ottawa. My name is Corinne Lenz and I'm the content director here at Actual Media. We have an interesting program lined up for you over the next 3 days. To make sure no one misses out on any of the events, contests, or networking opportunities, we've created a 2-minute virtual tour of the Whova conference platform. You'll find the video posted as an agenda session at the beginning of each day. It's easy to use, and this quick tour will help you make the most out of your time with us this week. My personal recommendation is to check out the community board, where you can share articles, comment on threads, or join meetups. If you don't find a topic that interests you, no problem. You can always start a discussion of your own. In just a few moments, we're going to hear opening remarks from Robert Holler from the CWWA and our event chair, Banu Omersi from Carleton University. Now, before I hand you over to Robert for opening remarks, I would like to take a moment to express our shock and sadness at the lost lives of the 215 children found at a residential school in Kamloops recently. We share in the grief that Indigenous families and communities across Canada are feeling today. And I would like to acknowledge the many First Nations and Indigenous peoples of Canada as the original stewards of this great country. I'm in Toronto, which is located on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. At this time, I'll hand the virtual floor over to Robert, Executive Director of the Canadian Water and Wastewater Association. Take it away, Robert.
Well, good morning, everyone. As we said, it's Robert Holler. I'm the Executive Director of the Canadian Water and Wastewater Association. We are the national voice for the municipal utility sector. We've been doing so for over 35 years. And maybe at that point, I'll just sort of cut in and say, everybody's been writing me all week wondering what silly way I'm going to use to start today. But it's been a really hard week to be silly in Canada as we remember the residential schools, the killing of Barbara Kentner, and now the killing of the family in London. It's been a really rough week for Canadians. As the CWWA, technically, we represent the municipal utility sector. So First Nations water issues have not always fallen within our mandate, but we believe that these First Nations water issues are everyone's mandate. I repeat our commitment from the CWWA to support our First Nations partners and those water leaders in any way we can help. If we can help, you let us know. We continue our support for the Atlantic First Nations Water Authority and hope that perhaps it might be a model for use across Canada. Finally, we sent out a message of love to all of our Canadian Muslim community today, and know that we in the water industry have a lot of work to do on diversity issues to recognize Canada's many cultures and the role of women in our industry. So I'll get back to CWWA. I said we've been doing this for 35 years and we've been running a window on Ottawa for almost as long. And the whole idea is that we engage the federal government. We're here to represent our sector to the federal government so that as they create water policy, we're there to represent the actual utilities and making sure that the policies that are developed are going to be sensible. So a lot of people say, why a national association when water is provincial? Well, those of us who are in the know that there's so much going on at a national level. The drinking water guidelines, the effluent regulations, stormwater policy. We've been doing a lot on cyber and physical security issues, infrastructure funding, commenting on the budget every time that comes out. But now more than ever, the issue of climate change is a crisis. It requires coordinated national, if not international effort. Now is not a time to break down into silos. We have supported for a long time a more coordinated federal effort with all those many departments and agencies working together with provinces, with municipalities, with First Nations, NGOs, and everyone else in the industry to find these solutions together to face our climate challenges. Our role has been to voice support for these coordinated efforts. We want to make sure that this Canada Water Agency moves ahead. We'll hear more about that later on. And that when they are having these discussions, that municipal utility sector is at the table. We're the ones that are running most of the infrastructure, and we're the ones with the closest relationship to the public. So we know that we have to be a part of that solution. So this wonderful event, we've had a long symbiotic relationship between Canadian Wastewater Association and Water Canada Magazine. Water Canada Magazine helps educate the country on these important water issues. All of our members receive the Water Canada Magazine. CWWA is a regular contributor to Water Canada Magazine. And we've been a supporter of this Canada Water Summit since its beginning. So as a couple people said, it's about time you two started dating. It seems like a date from hell sometimes that we were going to have this in 2020, then 2021. And we cannot have this physical event yet, but we will soon be all together. But we're very happy to be in a partnership with Water Canada Magazine and putting our two events together for a joint Window on Ottawa and Canada Water Summit. So now, my greatest honor is to introduce our event chair. Well, there might be a debate, but I think it was my idea to choose Banu Amechi as our conference chair. Banu is the Jarzlowski Chair in Water and Global Health, Canada Research Professor in Wastewater Treatment and Engineering, and the Director of the Global Water Institute at Canada's greatest university, Carleton University. And she leads an internationally recognized research program on wastewater and biosolids treatment. I'm also proud to say she's been part of our Team Canada effort in our bid to win the bid to bring the International Water Association's World Water Congress to Canada in 2024. And thank you, Banu, for all of your support in getting that bid here. You want to read more about Banu, it's all in the platform. And with that, welcome, Banu.
Thank you, Robert, for that nice introduction. And I imagine everyone can tell that you're a Carleton graduate from our great university. Okay, everyone. So I would like to welcome you all to the Canadian Water Summit. This is our 12th year. It has been a long time. Every year, CWS organizes excellent national events on water, and it brings together industry leaders from all levels of government, non-governmental organizations, clean tech companies, experts from academia, and more. As always, we'll be covering a wide range of topics, including drinking water, wastewater, stormwater, water infrastructure, national and indigenous issues, and updates from government agencies. This year, we're hosting several sessions. 3 of these sessions that I would like to highlight. Developing the Canada Water Agency. This is such an important initiative. It is so needed in Canada. And the session will explore questions like what role should the Canada Water Agency play in addressing water issues? How should the Canada Water Agency interact with provincial governments and Indigenous governments? What role can the public and private sectors play to support the Canada Water Agency's priorities? Another session we have is on emerging contaminants in wastewater. This is also a hot topic at the moment. During this session, Stephen Bliss from Ryerson University, Alan Shapiro from Forsyth, and I will be looking at the newest threats to Canada's water supply from chemical and biological emerging pollutants and the role that governments should play to reduce the threats they pose. Another session that I would like to highlight is where technology meets stormwater. This is also a very interesting session. Emerging technologies are being used at the local level to manage stormwater. This session will explore the technologies that are being used, what examples of leadership currently exist, and the positive impacts the communities are seeing. We will also be hosting a keynote address by Charles Fishman tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And the Water's next award celebration will be on Thursday. Be sure to check out the program online and add these sessions to your calendar. We hope you enjoy the program, get inspired, leave with new ideas, and benefit from your time with us. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome Richard Farding Nicole to our virtual stage. Richard is the director of the FLOW Canada and a project manager at the Center for Indigenous Environmental Resources. He will be moderating our plenary session on developing the Canada Water Agency. Welcome, Richard.